Hey students, my name is Lily, and in this video we are going to be studying environmental engineering. So to start, what is environmental engineering? It is the branch of engineering that is concerned with protecting the environment, human health, and wildlife. Environmental engineers work to improve things like recycling, waste disposal, public health, and water and air pollution. And what are some careers in environmental engineering? Well, many environmental engineering jobs require being outdoors. Some jobs include tracking endangered species, measuring acidic rain, preventing pollution from large industries, inventing better ways to recycle paper, plastic, and glass, and removing bacteria and poisons from well water. In this lesson, we are going to discuss what environmental engineers did and have been doing during the pandemic. You might not know this, but environmental engineers have been playing an important role during this pandemic. Environmental engineers have been focused on what to do with the waste that has accumulated during the pandemic, including mask waste. So COVID has caused an increase in the production of disposable masks, so environmental engineers have been trying to figure out what to do with that waste. Environmental engineers have been focused on the environmental factors to public health, including air and water quality. So during this pandemic, they have been involved in new designs to outdoor areas to facilitate social distancing without really disrupting the environment too much. Another way that environmental engineers have been of great help during the pandemic is using sewage waste to monitor cases by location. So how is this done? Well, scientists and engineers can use wastewater from different locations to test for the presence of the virus. This will give us a better idea of whether the area that you live in has a strong presence of COVID or not. I talked a little bit about pandemic waste before, so now we're going to discuss the disposal of infectious waste. So what is infectious waste? Well, it's medical waste that can make you sick. Some great examples of infectious waste that has been a major issue during the COVID pandemic includes COVID-19 tests, the little swab sticks that go up your nose, used needles, masks, and gloves. Now, how is infectious waste disposed of? Well, infectious waste gets sorted into different colored containers depending on what the waste is. So for example, used needles would go in the red sharps container. Used disposable masks and gloves would be considered contaminated personal protective equipment, or PPE. So it would go in the red container or the red liner in container for biohazards. Then depending on the waste, when they'll either be incinerated or sterilized. So back to the pandemic waste I was talking about earlier, the most common waste product of the COVID pandemic has been disposable masks. And the effects of mask waste are a major environmental issue. A lot of the mask waste has ended up in oceans or landfills. The potential consequences of mask waste include public health risk and open burning or uncontrolled incineration of masks, which leads to the release of toxins in the air. Environmental engineers are very worried about the amount of mask waste that has surfaced, and you should be too. So make sure to dispose of your masks correctly so it doesn't end up in the ocean or in landfills. So now that you have learned a little bit about environmental engineering, you're going to do a little experiment. Go to the View at Rowan website and click on Experiments. Then find the Environmental Engineering Experiment post, which should include the instructions for your experiment as well as a quick demo video for how to do the experiment. Have fun!